With great power comes great responsibility. If your milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, you can use that power for good, or you can be a gardening tool. And I think it's time to grow up, America. I think it's time to stop acting like every single day on this planet is our first day, acting like we're incapable of recognizing patterns and noticing that the same events keep reoccurring over and over, oftentimes in the same sequence. There's a little bit of hope in the sense that I believe that we as Americans, regardless of your political views or how you voted, have started to recognize that there might be a little bit of corruption and malfeasance in our government. We all watched as Donald Trump was first slandered. And I mean, this is the playbook. We just watch it happen over and over, but we don't recognize that it's the same chain of events. It's the same playbook being run in every single instance. The first thing they do is defame your character, slander you. If the people won't get on board with that, then we bring the legal system into the equation. And charges, criminal charges, start being filed. Injunctions are brought forth to stop any sort of progress toward rectifying the deep problems that we have in the American government, and not just with spending, with the way that our politicians are elected, with the way that they don't protect the American way of life. They don't protect us from housing costs getting so expensive that young people can't start a family and get a home to live the American dream. And then talk about being able to afford to feed yourself. No, you can pay out the nose for McDonald's, $20 to get meals at McDonald's. What sort of insane world am I living in? So we all watched Donald Trump first get slandered, then get the criminal charges levied at him. That was after the impeachments. Then they try to kill him. So, in spite of all that, he winds up getting elected because the American people are not happy with the way that the Democrats were running things. Not that that really matters, because I believe it's a uniparty. They're all being funded by the same corporations. They all need the same money in order to get reelected. So, of course, they're going to do lip service to the corporations while ignoring the plight of the normal American. So Donald Trump gets in office and decides to bring Elon Musk in and the Doge Committee to start investigating corruption. And I think, based on what I'm seeing online, there are a lot of people that are recognizing that there is corruption in the government. We're not going to point fingers and say one party is more guilty than the other, because they're all in the same boat. They're all in the same house. Nobody's causing big problems except for Donald Trump. And the reason that they went through all this trouble is because I believe he represents an existential threat to the status quo. This was their primary concern until Elon Musk actually started auditing federal agencies. Lo and behold, we find corruption. So what do? It's pretty predictable. The new threat, the more important threat, the one that's actually looking directly at the financials, is now Elon Musk. So what's the first thing they do? Well, the media in lockstep says, oh, Elon Musk now has access to your information. Fear tactics. Then a court comes forth and tries to stop them from being able to continue to investigate the federal government and find out where did the 35 trillion in debt go. And that's only the overspending we've done. I mean, during the last 20 years, we've accumulated $20 trillion in debt, roughly. But in the same period, there's at least another 20 trillion in legitimate spending of our tax dollars. So it seems like many people are falling for this trick of accusing your enemy of exactly what you're doing. So you've got a governmental bureaucracy that's filled with unelected people who are running the show. What's a bureaucrat? Well, a bureaucrat would be someone who's running or dictating the operation of a bureau, a federal bureau, like the one that investigates crime, supposedly, or the one that puts poison in your food, or the one that investigates securities and exchange fraud. There's all kinds of bureaucracies, and they have tons of power. It's not a problem as long as the corrupt ones who are stealing your tax dollars are the bureaucrats. But as soon as Donald Trump elects an appointed official for a new bureaucratic investigation department to look into all the other bureaucracies, suddenly it's an existential threat that this person, this outsider, just like the other private individuals who are brought into government positions without being elected, that's not an existential threat. But suddenly, when there's investigation into where the money goes, now there's a problem. Now there's panic. Now we need to make the people afraid. Elon Musk has access to your social security number and all kinds of confidential government information. If you're familiar with the way an audit works in the private sector, that's not how any of that works. So if Blue Cross and Blue Shield gets audited with all your private medical information, they don't give the financial auditors your medical records. What they do give them is the financial records of the company prepared by the internal accountants. And then external accountants review all the numbers and see what doesn't line up. So once again, the lying media that we know is lying to us, and we recognize this, and we've started to distrust them. We have gone online to podcasts and independent creators who actually want to tell the truth, want to discuss things that they see happening, don't want to gaslight, don't want to continue to live in a world of lies where you can't understand what's going on or who's doing what, because everybody's just a bunch of liars. This machine is doing everything it can, just like with Donald Trump, to prevent these potential criminal activities, theft, treason, I don't know, what do you want to call it? They're trying to prevent all this from coming to light. And we've already done the first two steps. It's been really quick. Defamation and legal challenges. The next one in line is trying to kill the person that they don't like. So, to be honest, I wouldn't be shocked if Elon Musk has an attempt on his life at some point, because these people are desperate to keep this malfeasance in the shadows. They don't want it brought to light. They don't want you to know about it, because then things have to change. Hopefully. Good God. If this information comes out and nothing is done, then we have only deepened the problem. There needs to be consequences. If you take a dump on the floor, you need to go in timeout. This prevents everyone from crapping on the floor. It's not magic. I mean, it's not a mystery how the world is supposed to work. It worked that way for thousands of years. If you were a liar or cheater, if you were doing things wrong, generally people did not want that to continue. So why would a federal judge want to stop an investigation into waste, fraud, and abuse? I don't know. The only explanation I can think of is maybe they're also committing some acts that they don't want to come to light. Maybe they've also taken some payments. But we need to start believing our own eyes and not listening to the people gaslighting us, saying that we're crazy. They've called a lot of people crazy over the past couple decades. Conspiracy theorists. Oh. And then, lo and behold, a few years later, sometimes only a few months later, this conspiracy theorist is proven to be correct. And the people who were saying that they're crazy are part of the machine that is committing treasonous acts against this nation and the people who make it great. And watching people fall for this machine that lies to you, now that it's telling a different lie to you, and taking them at all seriously, at all believing anything they say, in my opinion, is insane. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. It's time to recognize that we are doing the same thing. We're voting for the same people. We're putting them back in office. We need to start to internalize and use our memories, use our brains. Put our heads together and become smarter, not dumber. I don't know what has happened. We used to come together and actually be more intelligent. Now we come together and somehow we just turn into sheep. We follow the leader. Trust your own senses. The bureaucracy that is a danger to you and the future of America is not Elon Musk, the one looking and auditing the financials and trying to figure out where is this government money really going. The dangerous bureaucracy is the one that's already in place. It's the people who have already been appointed. It's the people who have been doing this for years. Suddenly they're panicking and bureaucracy is bad because Elon Musk is on the scene. I mean, what is it going to take for critical thinking to re-enter the marketplace of ideas? What do we got to do? Everybody's worried that Elon Musk is going to get hold of some sensitive information and somehow enrich himself by doing that. I mean, he's already got several multi-billion-dollar companies. In my opinion, if someone is doing something wrong, it's very unlikely, in my estimation, like if I try to put myself in that position, I'm a billionaire and I'm doing a bunch of wrong stuff that I don't want to come to light. Someone offers me a position where every step I take, every breath I take is going to be scrutinized and I'm going to be accused of some sort of wrongdoing. If I have something to hide, why would I take a position that's going to put me under the spotlight, under the microscope, so that every single thing I've ever done, just like running for president, is going to come to light? That doesn't make any sense. When things don't make sense, I start to wonder if it's a lie. And this doesn't make any sense. Why would Elon Musk, if he's going to do the wrong thing, put himself in the spotlight to do the wrong thing? It's much easier to do the wrong things quietly in the corner over here, not at the podium in front of everybody. In my opinion, this is a clear lie. And the disturbing thing is that there are actually people who are buying this crap. We need to peacefully turn this around. And we can do this if we expose the corruption, and there are consequences for bad actions. We've seen it multiple times with the banks. If you go into bankruptcy and the government bails you out, why would you not just do it again? If you're a politician and you get caught stealing tax dollars and there are no consequences, why wouldn't your peers start doing what you're doing and enriching themselves? And then maybe the fact that some of our politicians who make $200,000 a year, well, a few years into their reign as senator, congressman, whatever, they're mysteriously worth 6 digits, tens of millions of dollars. How? I just want to understand. And as far as Elon Musk, number one, I worked in the government. And if the people at these agencies who are being audited are giving him access to classified information, then they don't understand how the audit process is supposed to work, and they're not providing him with the correct documentation, which would be the internal accounting financial documents that I hope are prepared. I mean, maybe they just run without even doing any accounting. They just get the tax dollars. Why do accounting? I mean, trust me, sitting down and entering numbers in a spreadsheet sucks, and I wouldn't recommend it. But I'm hoping that these people do it, and I'm hoping that if someone shows up to audit them, that is the information that they're going to present to a financial auditor. Not pictures of their butthole, not documents that are classified and are not supposed to be seen by people without a clearance. And as far as I'm concerned, if Elon Musk was able to get pictures of the inside of my colon because the government somehow had this, I don't care. If it stops the corruption from continuing, I will gladly post pictures from my colonoscopy and anyone can look at them. I don't care. You want to see the inside? Nothing exciting. I mean, maybe you might find it exciting, but I assure you it's the same thing that's inside all of us. Shit. It's disgusting. Anyway, I'm just a mongoloid trying to blast out an SOS. Because if we continue to do nothing, then we're going to be wearing a bonnet and a red dress, and you're going to be in the Handmaid's Tale. Okay? Man or woman. They're going to put you in the bunkhouse, and they're going to fuck you. Wake up. There's still time to stop it. We just need to do something. We need to treat other Americans who are not in power with some civility, with some empathy, even if they don't have the same beliefs as you. They're facing the same problems that are created by a government who's not representing us, that are created by politicians who are prioritizing the corporate agenda, which is to take everything from you. You will own nothing and you will be happy. They're going to buy all the houses. They're going to own all the industries. You're not going to be able to be a dog walker or a handyman unless you go through these apps where you get paid $20 an hour when they bill the customer $100. That's the future. Unless we start to turn this around, the future is the same consolidation of power that you saw back when there were kings and bloodlines under the feudalist system. The aristocracy was the only class allowed to own land. And then people started to figure out that this kind of sucks, and democracy might be the rule of the people might be a better representation of what is good for humanity than what a few people decide is good for humanity. And now we're headed back toward the consolidation of power through wealth, which can buy the energy of other people to do your bidding. And now we're talking about you will own nothing and you'll be happy. Just like the serfs in feudalist England. So, as Whitney Webb says, we're headed for a techno-feudalist future where the elites get to decide what's good for you. And you can just shut your pie hole and go lay in the mud somewhere. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.